Here's my manga collection.
Hey weebs and weirdos, so I'm in my new place. Whoa, and guess who finally has their books moved in? I decided I'm going to show you my collection.
Okay, so I'm on the floor right now. You're probably wondering why. Mainly because we just moved in. That's probably why this place looks like a mess. I have some things that are kind of old, some things that are kind of rare, and I'm just really happy to use this as an excuse to show it off. Originally, at the last place I was staying at, a lot of my books, all of my manga were packed away in storage because of like the living situation. I was in a place living with like about 6 people in one spot. Not the best situation. So everything was packed away. These are not all of my books, but they are all of my manga. Actually, I think like maybe 1 or 2 of my manga isn't in this pile. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show off my stuff and to talk about some of my favorite things. You'll probably notice that some of these manga are familiar and I might have talked about in previous videos before. So I will definitely bring them up again here. Anyway, manga collection 2026. I kind of want to start with some of the shonen I have, then move on to some of the shoujo stuff I have, and then to my favorite part, some of my shonen magazine collection, along with some of the Yen Press magazines. Here I have the Dragon Ball manga. Volume 1's here. I grew up watching Dragon Ball. It was, I think, my very first anime maybe. Like, technically I have seen Pokemon, but Pokemon's one of those anime where you kind of just forget that it's an anime, mostly because everyone my age was watching Pokemon. So it didn't really feel like a proper introduction to anime. A lot of people just called Pokemon a cartoon and didn't even know anything about anything related to anime. You could kind of say the same for like Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh, but those were a little more obscure compared to Pokemon. I wouldn't necessarily call them obscure, but people talked much more about like Pokemon than they did about Yu-Gi-Oh. Whatever. Other than those 3, because they showed up on like cable and whatnot, Dragon Ball was my very first, I guess, proper anime. My very first series that I watched that when I went to school, nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. I watched Dragon Ball through a family member I knew because both my parents, they're complete nerds. That's kind of my introduction to a lot of video games, TV shows, whatnot. I think I thrifted them. You have probably noticed by now in my pile of manga, this really shitted version of the Dragon Ball manga. This is one of, I think this is technically part of Dragon Ball Z, but for some reason it only says Dragon Ball on it. This is related to the Cell Saga, and I believe that happens in Dragon Ball Z. I got this, this is older than this, at least since I purchased it, right? Because I thrifted that, but this was like a gift by like some random extended family member. Like, we went to this Christmas event of these people I didn't even know, and somehow they knew I liked anime and Dragon Ball. And since I was so young and stupid, it got very destroyed. I genuinely think I might have kept this in a bag and it might have rained, and that's how it got so bad. Should I keep it? It's so damaged. But I'm damaged, so like. Here I have my Chainsaw Man manga. I think I have only up to 11. Yeah, I don't know why I stopped buying it. I think it was mainly because the store only had up to 11 at the time. I believe I only have up to volume 3 for Attack on Titan, and mainly because I bought these during a time where I was young and didn't have like any money, and then I completely forgot how many volumes of Attack on Titan I had. When I went to the bookstores, I didn't have any in my local area, so I always went out of town for that,
And when it came to buying manga, I felt the need to remember how far in I was in a series. Because usually when I bought my manga, I just bought them in bulk. I would buy like 10 volumes and then forget which volume I'm at. And so I get to the bookstore and I'm like, damn, maybe I should just buy a new series because I forgot what volume I was at. You can probably notice that I have a similar situation with a lot of these. For example, I have here Full Metal Alchemist. There's 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 10 to 12, but where's the one in between that? Do we just not have the ones in between that? That sounds like something I would do. Because sometimes you go and you buy manga and people have already bought the ones in between the series and then you're just like, oh. And you're like too insecure and socially awkward to ask the staff member if there's any other copies, so you just buy whatever's there. Please tell me I'm not the only one that's socially awkward. I definitely am less socially awkward than I used to be, but holy crap, I'm glad that I've calmed down over the years. I also have some copies of Dragon Ball Super. Not a lot. I think I might only have up to volume 7. For some reason, they were really expensive. In Canadian, it's like $13 per volume. I couldn't afford it at a certain point. Genuinely, I might keep buying more manga for Dragon Ball Super. I have not been up to date with Dragon Ball Super at all. So maybe I'll pick it up again, but I tend to avoid a lot of fan bases that get dominated by men. When something is like popular and it has a bunch of like mixed fan bases of different genders, different backgrounds, I feel more welcomed and at ease. But with like very male dominated anime genres or like very male dominated communities for a specific series, it tends to feel kind of overwhelming because it's not very open to a lot of different opinions or a lot of different types of anime watchers. Like, I feel awkward telling people I like Dragon Ball because I grew up watching Dragon Ball and I fell in love with it way before I even realized there was a community for it. I didn't know it was an anime, and then I met a friend who said she was interested in anime, and I brought up liking Dragon Ball, and then she was like, yeah, that's anime. And that's pretty much how I got into anime. I didn't know what a weeb was, I didn't know any of that stuff, or like what otaku culture was. After getting into it, I realized that Dragon Ball tends to have certain kinds of fans that get very angry and passionate about their opinions when it comes to the show, which like I totally get. You love this series, you want to express that in a way. I just wish that most people expressed it in a healthier way. So I feel very excluded from the fan base, I guess. And so I just never picked it up again, which is really sad because I used to be so obsessed with it. I have something super embarrassing to admit. I bought this manga series and never touched it. My first introduction to Shaman King was through Shonen Jump because I have a collection of some Shonen Jump magazines over here, which I'm going to show you eventually. Be patient. I read some of like the short parts, snippets that they had of Shaman King in there, and I was really interested in the series. And then I bought, I think, up to volume 6, and I just haven't touched it since. I don't know why. I think I kind of just forgot I had this. Honestly, when I'm done filming this video, I might just start reading it. There are some manga in my collection that I only have like 1 or 2 volumes for. For example, I only have 1 volume of Noragami. I only have these 2 volumes of The Legend of Zelda of Four Swords manga series. I only have one volume of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which just so happens to be my favorite Legend of Zelda game. I also have this My Hero Academia Smash, it's called. It's kind of like these short little comics, sort of like with Choco and Mimi, where there's a single strips. It's not like a standalone. This Naruto official fan book or whatever. The pages are like talking about the characters. They have like little puzzles in them. Some of it looks like regular manga panels. Put that back, tilt it over some weird stuff. I have this one manga series called like Dot Hack, and I only have 3 volumes of that. I also have 2 volumes of Blue Exorcist. I have this series called Zombie Loan. I don't really know to count this or not. This obviously is not a Japanese series. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese series, but I have it. Shin-chan. I can't read it, but I have it. I've talked about Real Account before on this channel. It is definitely super, super good, and I really hope to get more copies of Real Account. Now I kind of want to take this section of the video to talk about some of my Shojou manga, along with other various genres mixed in. I'm going to talk about Shojou, but I'm also going to be talking about some of my boy love series. This volume of Tokyo Mew Mew. It is definitely one of my favorite Shojou magical girls ever. I mean, I love Madoka Magica, but other than like, I feel like Madoka Magica in of itself feels so different than other magical girl series. So I tend to separate it from when I talk about magical girl series. Because let's be real, Madoka Magica is more like a horror, maybe? Horror, I guess? Kind of? Compared to things like Sailor Moon and like, I don't know, other magical girls like Shuko-chara, I feel like Madoka Magica is so, it's in a different realm of magical girl. I also have the 12 volumes for Anonymous Noise. It's this like music related series, and she joins this like light music club. I do not have the first volume. My reasoning was, well, I already read the first volume because my friend had the first volume and I read it from her, borrowed it, gave it back, and then I'm like, oh, I love this series. So I buy all of up to 12 except the first volume, which was a stupid idea. I don't think the bookstore had the first volume at the time, and I'm like, I could always get it later. I still have not bought the first volume. I've had this series for a while, and I have talked about the series Tsubasa before. Specifically, the Reservoir Chronicle Tsubasa. This, and how it is one of my favorite, actually, I think it might just be like my favorite. When I was younger, I was watching Dragon Ball on disc, and there's trailers that play before you get to actually watch the show, and one of them was for this specific series. I have volume 4 of Choco and Mimi. I only have volume 4 of Choco and Mimi. It was a gift from a friend because she didn't want it. I think she just like didn't care for it, and I was interested in it, so she gave it to me. I loved it. I had it for years. It got to the point where I literally bookmarked a bunch of my favorite pages, because it's kind of one of those like a comic strip that only lasts for a page. It's one of those like slice of life stories where it's not like a bunch of like small one-shot stories of the same characters in a whole volume. I always wanted to get the other volumes for Choco and Mimi, but then I found out that apparently people pay like hundreds of dollars for this series. I don't have hundreds of dollars, but apparently this is kind of like expensive now. Lucky me, I guess. I haven't read this yet. It's La Corda d'Oro. I don't really know what it is. I only have one volume of this thing called Chibi Vampire. I thought it looked cute. I'm sorry, I don't know why this warped, but this manga, it got warped. and it's a Romeo Juliet retelling.
It's actually really good. And I like how Juliet is kind of a badass, I feel. More of a role than just being a damsel in distress.
I have the 2 copies of Vampire Knight. There does sadly happen to have creepy cousins end up together. I have the 2 first volumes of Toradora. I actually really like Toradora. It's not like the best written female main character, I feel, but I went through this phase where I was really into tsunderes at the time. I have the first 4 volumes of Clear Cardcaptor Sakura, because I know that Clear Card isn't exactly like the best Cardcaptor Sakura, but it would be really nice to have some more included into my collection. I also have some of the volumes of Black Butler, because I went through a Black Butler phase, and XXX Holic. I only have 1 volume.
But here are some of the boy loves I have. I have this series called Seaside Stranger. It was a series that I saw on the bookshelf of like an acquaintance, I guess, and I got interested in it. I have this called Tomorrow Makes Me Yours, 7 Days,
Monday to Sunday. The first volume of Gravitation. I have another boy love. I think it's just called Sick, called Betrayal. A lot of these boy love stories I just haven't read. Now it's time to show off my magazines. I have a few non-anime magazines and like non-anime books mixed in, which I'm going to gently toss aside. What are these? Oh, I forgot. I have some Dragon Ball comics, but they're like these weird like it's not like a full volume, it's like 1 chapter. It looks like this.
I have a few of these though, like a good amount.
Here's a Yen Plus magazine from 2008. Here is some of my Shonen Jumps. This one from 2011. This one is from 2009. This one is from May 2010. This one's from August 2003, and it features Shaman King. This one has Shaman King on the cover, and it is from August 2004. This one is from 2009, February. This one is from 2009 in March. This one's from 2010 in July. This one's from May 2004. This one's from January 2010, and on the back it features an ad for Final Fantasy Crystal Bearers, which just so happens to be one of my favorite side series for Final Fantasy. This one is from December 2008. This one is from 2011. This one's from September 2010. This is again Plus magazine from 2008. This is from April 2010, May 2009, 2011, 2009, 2011, November 2010, and the rest is pretty much not anime related. I did find this boy love thing. It's not in English. Honestly, I don't, is this in Japanese? I think. Ta-da! I don't speak Japanese. I should learn, just because this is in Japanese. This is my collection, and I hope you like this video. I know that this one is a long one, but I feel like it was inevitable, honestly. I can't wait for the day that I get more manga and I have like this huge little library going on, and I can just rant for longer about all the new stuff I get. Thank you for watching this. I am a tree, and if you like anime or cosplay related content, please check out my channel. Yeah, that's it. I suck at intros. I do not know how to end videos. That's just my thing, I guess. I could try and figure out how to end videos. Too much effort. If you thought my stuff was cool, I think my stuff is cool too.